All right, here we go. We are rolling. It is time for another episode of the Ticket Studs. Today we're going to be drafting 1995. Littell, how old were you in 95? -2?
I was not even a thought.
Draft order today. I am in the 1 spot, Arvin in the 2 spot, Salemi at 3, Littell on the turn at 4. You guys ready for this?
No.
So excited for your picks?
For those of you who don't know, this is our first AM recording, by the way.
An election day special, if you will.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And we'll see how
Come on,
today
America.
rolls out. Right.
We got to wrap this up by 6 p.m.
We should have done some sort of like election
Because that's when the
day.
purge starts.
If we were going to do that, I mean, none of us thought about doing this on election day, but if we were, we could have done like best conspiracy government films or something like that.
Or just political thrillers in general.
Right. All right.
Next time for sure.
Eyes
Like
of
Borat.
March, number 1.
Borat.
Next
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
for sure.
That would be funny to try to draft the comedy category. The political thriller draft. All right. I'm up. Number 1 pick. This sucks. I do not want the number 1 pick.
I did.
Said no one ever.
Take
I really, truly don't. Because these categories are... All right. I'm just going to go with my Oscar pick to start, and I'm going to go with the movie Seven.
Okay.
I don't like your strategy.
Sorry.
Wait till we get to my pick.
I'm pretty sure that would not have made it back to me since there are so many picks in between. But such a great movie. I mean, everything surrounding it. It's quotable. You know, what's in the box. Kevin Spacey. Unfortunately, that's what he turned into.
Right.
I mean, he's not a serial killer, but obviously not a good dude.
That we know
Right.
of.
That we know of, yeah. But such a great role by him. And this is cool. I mean, obviously, I didn't see it when it came out. I was 7.
Really?
Yeah, I was 7 in 95.
I went to the movie theaters and watched it.
But he didn't promote it. He wasn't in the opening credits. Like, nobody really
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
he was the guy until the end. You're like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And the whole scene, the whole last 20 minutes of the movie is incredible.
So intense.
Dude, Morgan Freeman, perfect.
I must
Brad
say,
Pitt, perfect.
Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt together worked so well.
I wish
better
they'd
than I
done
ever
more.
thought it would. Yeah.
I wish they'd done more together.
Who was
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's wife?
What's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
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 No, that is a great. I saw that in the theater. Part of the mystique about that movie, they did a great job of hiding who the killer was. You never saw him during the film until he turns himself in. The trailers didn't ruin it. The other thing too, unless I'm mistaken about this, you never know what city they're in. Like, it's a nameless city. There's no reference. There's no identifying feature. It's constantly rainy. Like, the setting of the city is the same day after day after day throughout that thing. It's always dark, dreary, and rainy.
It's just a city in decay.
Right.
Is how they
Yeah.
show it, yeah.
What a great premise for the movie, too. And then they never show any of the actual killings.
Yeah, which is way worse.
Oh, yeah, because
So worse.
I remember when Morgan Freeman's talking about the lawyer sitting there sweating through his suit trying to figure out what pound of flesh do you cut off and still survive. And obviously the lust thing, I can't.
Oh,
I mean, that's
God,
just.
Yeah, we don't have to go through the...
Yeah. But the way that they did it was really, they always described the setting, and then it was just left to your imagination.
Yeah, was it Sloth or one of them?
Sloth.
They found was still alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
dude,
guy had
it's
been
like-
chained to the bed for like a
Yeah.
year.
For somebody who doesn't like jump scares, I really like that one. That one was nuts. That's John C. McGinley, too, playing
That's
the FBI.
Really?
Oh, really? Wow.
My bad. He's the FBI guy. He's the SWAT guy
Oh,
that gets...
Okay.
he wasn't. I was
No.
Like, that's crazy for me.
Like, that makeup went wild.
The doctor says something like, if you showed a flashlight at him right now, he might die of shock or something
Yeah.
like that. It's like, oh, okay.
All right, Arvin, in the 2
man.
spot, you're up.
All right, I am also going to start with my Oscar pick, and I'm going to go with The Usual Suspects.
Ooh, Salemi.
How'd I do?
Sucks.
Love that movie.
I do too. And so I went with a slightly different way of ranking this time. So I kind of picked everything into categories like I usually do. And then I kind of was like, all right, I'm going to rank everything where I think I should take it because I don't want Alien to happen again. So I with my ranking, I went with The Usual Suspects at the top of the list. That reveal, I think, is one of those like cinematic moments where like there's this twist and you probably didn't see it coming, and then in retrospect, it's like, oh, and then you rewatch the movie and it makes even more sense, and you're like, oh, it gets better every time you watch it, I think, too. So, yeah, I feel like I just notice new things every time I go back to it. And it is one of those movies where you can go back to it and watch it again and again and again and always get something else out of it. Yeah, I mean, it's got all the things.
It was really difficult. It was between Usual Suspects and Seven.
Yeah.
Those were the top two. I was like, I keep going back and forth.
Yeah,
They're both so great.
And it's
when he picked Seven, I was like, all
Kevin
right,
well, there it is.
Well, yeah, why did Kevin Spacey have to turn out to be an ass?
Right, he's such a good movie villain. Like,
Yeah.
There's
That
a
is
lot
the
of
one
good
thing that makes it
movies
harder
he's
to
in.
rewatch now. Is like,
Right.
yeah, I forget. Yeah, well, okay.
This
Kaiser
movie
Sose.
has one of my favorite movie trivia things about like their lineup scene. I guess Benicio del Toro was just like farting.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
He
like
couldn't
this
stop.
dramatic moment.
But it makes it so good.
The outtakes of that, have you seen those?
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
so funny.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Also, just like the scene at the end of him starting to walk normally again, like gives me chills
Every time, right?
Light
Like,
up the
yeah, like they
cigarette.
do that so well too. Like, oh, he got away with it. You know, like just.
And some reveals are real ham-handed and cheesy when they're like revealing
They like hit you
things.
over the head with it.
But this one is done to perfection.
Yeah.
It is as he's figuring out and he's looking at the board and he's thinking back to the conversation. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah.
A tribute to how good Spacey is. He goes from being this simple-minded, kind-hearted, easy guy to manipulate to a dangerous-looking villain, and all he did was physically just like
the presence,
Changed
alone,
his
like-
movement and yeah.
I mean, that is pretty wild that he was able.
Yeah.
Because when he gets in the car and he's lighting up the street, ooh, you are the bad guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're not. What was his name?
Oh, like the villain name?
No,
You're
no,
Kaiser
it's-
Soze. You're
no, no.
not. What's
Oh, his like simple.
Yeah. Dribble or it was
Something like that.
Yeah, it was.
yeah? I don't remember. Holy shit.
But yeah. Anyway, he changes like that. All right, I
You're up.
am kind of surprised by your guys'.
I am too. Please don't do this.
I am Blockbuster is like there's nothing there. I would have taken 7 for Blockbuster because there's other Oscars, and because and I really do like this movie, and I saw it at the theater, and went in with no expectations, completely blown away by the cutting edge change in direction for this genre of film.
And he's taking the cutting edge.
I am taking for my Blockbuster
Toy Story. There it is.
Bye, Littell.
I have no choice, really.
Littell had already removed his headset and prepared to walk out when Toy Story was taken. And he is gone. Like,
What?
He has left the studio.
He'll return.
I hope.
His hoodie's here.
If he doesn't, I'll pick for him.
I'll bet I know what he's going to have to probably take for Blockbuster. Yeah, first off, I don't understand. Someone needs to explain to me what happened in 1995 for economics, in the world of economics, because there's literally, 10, 15 Blockbusters to pick from?
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
Just 10.
10.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, the economy was booming. So I was kind of surprised by that. But yeah, there's not a lot out there. Toy Story's a phenomenal movie. I don't know if it would have been number one I pick,
Yeah.
but I kind of feel I have to. It's funny. It's endearing. Like, the movie is fantastic and just completely blown away by the animation. Went in not expecting what I was in store for.
It might still be one of the funniest animated movies I've ever seen. Like,
It's one of the best. Yeah, it's one of the funniest
Oh,
for sure.
for sure.
yeah, I
It
still
is
think 2 is
hilarious.
the best one, but the first Toy Story to me is the funniest by far.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many good jokes.
The army soldiers
Oh, man.
radioing back
Yeah.
what toys are being opened. It's all very. I mean, I think unfortunately now we sort of take for granted that Pixar is going to do something unique, cutting edge, funny, blah blah blah. But that was their first endeavor. That was their first introduction to all of us, and it was. Like, I just remember when I walked out of the theater, Marie and I saw it, just the people around me, like, everybody was talking like, oh my God, what is this? What did they do? Like, was it that can't be hand drawn. Like, this, just these conversations around and people talking about it was CGI, which I was like, what the hell is CGI? I had no idea. But yeah, and it is. It's a good movie. It's a funny movie. It's a touching movie. Yeah, liked it a lot.
My favorite part of the whole thing is when Buzz is so defeated and he's just like chilling in the sister's room in the dress having the tea party.
Yeah.
I like when the shark.
funny.
I like when the shark gets the cowboy hat and he's like, "I'm Woody. Howdy, 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 howdy." I could not stop laughing at that when I was a kid.
Oh man, I feel like the thing that Pixar does that really makes them amazing is the worlds that they create.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's such a deep idea to begin with, like toys come to life, which had been done before, right? Like it wasn't like that was necessarily a
Pinocchio,
unique
right?
idea, right? I mean, yeah,
Toy soldiers.
but they just created such a good universe within that. Like, I mean, the Pizza Planet thing, and like the kid next door that's a terror, and like all of that, and you just create this world that you can grow up in, and then they did, right? Like they did with all that, right?
The aliens in the club.
Like there's all these different little cultures amongst the toys. I think that to me is amazing that they were able to pull that off. And then they were like, "Hey, the technology's cool," and the technology was amazing. Like seeing fully realized CG cartoons basically was really cool. But man, the world building I just thought was spot on. Like that was awesome.
Also perfectly voice casted. Like Tom Hanks and Tim Allen destroy in that movie. Like,
But everybody down the way, like, like
same,
you got
all
John Ratzenberger, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he's great too. Like,
When did the streak end for him, by the way? Because he was in every single Pixar movie, but I think the streak ended.
it had to be like semi-recently.
I would think, yeah. That's a good question.
All right, Littell, you've got 2 picks.
What's the point, guys?
One.
What's the point?
Why are we
Hey,
even
get
here?
your blockbuster, baby. Even if you're gonna feel a little defeated, I understand, but there's still a good blockbuster out there.
Yeah, there is, and I'll take it. I'm going to go Blockbuster, and I'm going to go Apollo 13. Because, man, what a movie.
Yeah.
I saw that movie, man, how old was I? I was obviously way later. I was probably like 8 or 9, so 2006, 7. Gripped me the whole time. Like, as soon as they are coming back from the moon and everything is, like, hitting the fan, I just, like, could... Like, how long is this movie?
It's definitely a couple hours.
2 hours and 20 minutes. It is. It feels like an hour and a half. Like, the last, like, 60, 50 minutes of that movie are gripping. As, like... I mean, you know they're going to make it back, but, like, I didn't know how. Like, it's my 8 or 9-year-old brain. It's like, how are people this smart? Like, how are you so smart to figure, like, exactly the amount of energy you need to, like, shut off all these systems? You'll have just enough air. You're coming in hot. Like, let's get it done.
Coming in hot.
I mean, it's just so well. Like, Tom Hanks is incredible, but so is everyone else in that movie. I'm struggling. Who else is in that movie?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon
Kevin
is in
Bacon.
it.
Oh,
Gary
so-
Sinise,
Love Gary Sinise.
he's really good in that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was he the one back in Houston?
Yeah, he was
working
the-
through
Yeah,
all
he
the
was supposed to
problems?
be on.
Yeah.
And then,
and couldn't.
And how clutch, right? How clutch that he ended up having to stay back because probably they would have all died. Like
Who else was in the shuttle? Because there's another big. It was Bacon, Hanks,
Hanks and
Bill Paxton.
Bill
Yeah,
Paxton.
there we
Yeah.
go.
I was about to
That's
say
dis-
his name, and then I was like questioning it. Like, is it?
That's disrespectful.
It was, I knew it was
Yeah.
someone that, like, I could see it in my head, but there was no way I was coming up with the name. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, they laid a blueprint for other movies on how to sort of create space drama.
Yeah.
In The Martian, there's a lot of similar elements.
Yeah.
That whole someone's in space and someone's in ground
The alphabet
control
thing?
and going back
Oh.
and forth. Yeah, I mean, they do a great job of building up the drama and solving one problem, and now there's another problem, and it's
Yeah.
a really good film. And I did not want to watch Apollo 13. I thought I was going to be bored to tears.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like more of a.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of documentary based, but it's so
But it-
well acted that like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm such a space nerd. I was very excited to watch it. Like in the trailer, you're like, see that Saturn V rocket like take off, and I was like, I'm in. Okay, don't get. And it's Tom Hanks
When you also
in
realize
the middle of like an amazing run.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
like his 93 to
He owned the 90s.
oh my god, I mean, just fantastic. So. Yeah, I was very excited about it, and it's one of those where, I was probably so excited that it should have let me down, and it didn't at all. Like, I love that movie.
Well, I think you also learn to appreciate just how like what's the word I want to use? Like medieval almost our technology was then, and
Oh,
just
man.
like how flimsy all of this really is. Like,
And how it really relied on people working together. right?
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing. Like, without that team, like, working together, they all would have died.
Yeah, everyone had to lock in.
100%. And like and not just for like a couple like hours, like for days.
Yeah.
Just to get them home, right? Like the dream of the moon is dead. Now we're working the problem. We're going to figure out how to get these guys back, and then did it. And it's just one of those moments where you're like, wow, we
Human
did that.
beings,
Like, that was
dude.
so cool. Like when we actually work together, we really can get some stuff done.
I don't want to go off on a sidetrack at all, but that will be lost on civilization with AI.
I was thinking the same thing.
Within seconds, AI will say, "Well, this is what you should do."
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, go for coffee now. And then you just press buttons. I mean, that's cool, but it's also it reduces us.
Yeah.
But there are bigger problems to figure out. But we can save this conversation for another
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Like I said, didn't want.
All right.
Wait, what? And I apologize. You'll know the answer to this. I think. What happened to Gary Sinise? Why is it that I haven't seen him in anything recently? He's not dead, right?
No, he's not.
Okay,
dead.
so I feel like he kind of went. He went from being out there a lot to all of a sudden I never see the dude in anything.
I feel like he's
Sadly, I
had,
think a lot of it is like he's older.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Part
just
of it, he has a really bad reputation of being difficult to work with and a total a-hole.
Oh, really?
Oh, no kidding.
Like, there's a reason why he's in Tom Hanks movies, because they're pals and they talk about the war and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
he
can't even
hasn't
think
really,
of the last
he hasn't
movie
been
he was
anything since 2020. 13 Reasons Why.
Don't
He was
even
in
know
that
what
show?
is.
His
Really?
last credit. Oh no, Joe Bell. He was in something
Was
called
he
Joe
acting
Bell.
or
His last
directing? 'Cause I know he-
actor.
okay.
That's his latest actor credit on IMDb.
Oh, Joe Bell, that's when Mark Wahlberg walks because his daughter got hit by a truck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Littell, pick number 2.
All right.
Ace Ventura.
No. Close. I'm going to take my action drama thriller. I'm going to pick Goldeneye.
You son
What I
of
think
a-
is
Dang it.
the first and best Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie. And by a lot. I don't think any of them are as good as this one.
Dang it.
Sean Bean as 006 is such a good villain. Might be like top 5 all time for me.
Oh yeah.
Like
He's got a personal motivation.
Yeah.
You get to learn a little bit more about the Liance Cossacks. Like,
I love
cool.
Who's the female seductress spy in that movie?
Zinnia Onatop,
Well, what's her actor?
Famke.
The actor's name?
Famke Janssen.
Yeah.
Famke Janssen.
Yeah. Yeah. He's good with the pronunciations.
Talk about a childhood
much.
crush, man.
Oh,
I was
she's
like,
great.
Oh my
Yeah, I mean,
goodness.
and then she was Jean Grey in the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Did she have something
She's
with
great.
Jon
She is
Favreau?
great. John Favreau.
She's the girlfriend. She's the stripper girlfriend in
Right. But I mean, I feel like
Maeve.
those two were connected in
Oh.
a couple different movies. Like in real life, did they have a friendship or anything? Or
Yeah, they were pals.
okay, but that's it.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay,
I'll also say the fight scene at the end of this movie is one of the most thrilling, brutal, gritty fight scenes in any James Bond movie. Like the fight and the satellite array, I mean, is
Yeah.
awesome. And you can just see like both the respect and hatred every time they look at each other when they're running. Like, oh, it's so good.
For England, James.
Great James Bond movie.
I knew I didn't want the first pick. That sucks.
Yeah, I didn't want the second pick, it turns out, either.
Also, the video game that this
Then
movie
this guy gets
spawned.
2 in a row.
The video game that this movie spawned.
Oh, the N64 game.
Incredible.
Chef's kiss.
The soundtrack
It's
alone.
so good, so blocky. You can play it now, and like kids still probably enjoy it because it looks like
It's-
Minecraft.
Yeah, it's good.
It's the same. So it's the same composer who did Leon the Professional.
Yeah.
That's why it sounds so similar. Those tubular.
Oh, that soundtrack is awesome
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So Lemmy, back to you.
Tina Turner on the
that's
song.
why I appreciate your. Like, there's no way, there's no universe that I will ever live in where I would know that. Like, I don't sit through the credits and I don't read the liner jacket of the DVD or anything like that.
You
So it's
have-
the same guy.
You have a loving family, wife and kids. I have none of that.
And I didn't when I was a sophomore in high school when it came out. So I looked at that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I had no idea.
That was a good pick. I hate you forever.
Yeah,
You're
for
welcome.
real.
You were a sophomore in high school in '95.
Yeah, sophomore in high school.
Damn, I am old on you guys.
No,
Yeah.
come on.
All right.
Don't do that to yourself. Littell wasn't even born.
That's true.
All right, I am going to take my action drama thriller.
Oh, here we
and
go.
I am taking
The best
Heat.
best shootout scene.
Heat.
It is the best shootout scene. My brother and I went to see this movie, and afterward, we probably talked about that shootout scene for a half an hour.
It's
Just
so
how
long
realistic.
and, like-
yes, it is a long shootout. And it's like realistic.
Yeah.
It's I mean, as realistic as it's going to get, but it wasn't one of these things where I'm going to shoot up the car, but nobody on the other side of the car will ever get hit.
Yeah,
Like,
their car's just getting destroyed
Oh, yes.
this whole time.
and obviously the big buildup of De Niro and Pacino doing a movie together and a scene together and all that sort of thing. Really, really good. Val Kilmer's in it.
Val Kilmer
Love Val.
kills in that movie.
And his wife is from Kentucky. Why can't I think of her name? Big actress. You guys don't know. You do. When I figure out her name, she ran for Congress or was thinking about running for
Really?
Congress.
Like
yes.
his real life wife?
in the movie.
In the movie,
Val
okay.
Kilmer's wife.
I can't think of the actor's
She
name.
is a big Kentucky Wildcat fan. She's from Kentucky.
Is she a Judd?
Ashley
Ashley Judd.
Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't remember which Judd,
Yeah.
but I
Okay.
thought she was a Judd.
Yeah.
The CIA and the FBI, they use that shootout scene to show recruits.
Do they?
Val Kilmer said that's what he's like. One of the things he's most proud of in his career is they use that shootout scene to recruits to say this is how it should look. This is how it's done. It's that realistic and well done.
Well, I thought
It feels that way.
I like the whole, you've got the criminal gang and watching them operate and how advanced thinking they are and researching. And then on the other side, you got Al Pacino and his group. Like when Al Pacino and his group get together out in the middle of the docks trying to figure out, and he's like, oh, well done. They're spying on, they're taking photos of all of us right now and doing background on all of us like we have done on them.
Chills.
Yeah.
Just thinking about that scene, he's like, God, he's so smart.
Yeah, how they time everything out. He's in a bunch of Quentin Tarantino movies. Madsen, is that his name?
Michael
Yeah.
Madsen.
Yeah,
Matt.
he's good in this film as
Or
well.
wait, are you thinking of Tom Sizemore?
That's what I'm thinking. Thank you, buddy. Tom Sizemore. I leaned on you and you let me down, but I feel like I think I softballed it to you incorrectly.
Wasn't he
So,
in
I'm
Black
sorry.
Hawk Down too?
Tom Sizemore.
Everybody
Yeah.
was in
so,
Black Hawk.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he's in Saving Private Ryan too, right? That guy's just a good
Tom
actor.
Sizemore.
Pearl
Yeah.
Harbor.
Yeah.
You name a war movie.
Right, any movie with
Does it
guns.
have guns?
Right.
Put Sizemore in it.
He's in True Romance.
And Natural
Yes,
Born
yeah.
Killers as well, but you guys don't like that movie. I love that movie. You guys don't like that movie.
Is it
Honestly,
Trabajo? Is that his
I've
name?
still not seen it.
Really?
In the
Yeah.
movie?
And
Wow.
no,
I need to
the
see
a Woody
actor
Harrelson movie.
I
who
know.
gets beaten to a pulp because they're trying to find out info.
Trabajo?
Um,
Danny Trejo?
Danny Trejo?
there you go. Danny Trejo.
Of course, he's known for his work.
I knew I was. Thank you. I knew I was wrong.
That's a good little
I just
Spanish
didn't know
joke
how
you put
wrong
in there.
I was. And then how they get revenge on the guy who sold them out. De Niro
At the end of the
And
movie?
he's like, I don't think you have time. I'll make time. Like, I'm
It's like
getting
you
this
think
guy.
the movie's over, it's like, no, we
Yeah.
got one more loose end.
Right.
I wish we could have seen
Looking at that
Machete in
cast.
theater with you.
Hey, give me some credit. I was on the right
Oh, yeah.
sort
no,
of
yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
I just knew I knew I was wrong. I just didn't know how wrong I was.
All right,
So, yeah.
Arvin.
Love
Oh
Heat.
man! So with my next pick, Cash, I'm very sorry about this, but it is basically the last blockbuster that has any chance of like being fully redeemable, and so
Pocahontas?
no.
Casper?
So let me. Do you want to guess? Go ahead.
I'm going with Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, that's nice, but no. It's Jumanji.
I'm gonna-
Jumanji.
Okay, I was
yeah,
wrong.
It's Jumanji.
Oh.
So because I know the love of Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've got to take that there. I think I do love Die Hard with a Vengeance. I mean, because I'm a sucker for Christmas movies. But
Thank you.
take that, Miller.
I hope you listen to this, Miller.
I do, right? Exactly. Team Christmas movie the whole time.
Was that the third one? Was Samuel Jackson?
This is the one with
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson with
Yeah.
like the games around the city, basically, to
God,
distract
dude.
the police.
when he has
Willis
to put on
has to
that
wear that.
sign, dude.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Ugh. So, and if nobody takes that, I'll definitely take it later. But yeah, I think for my blockbuster, I got to go Jumanji. Like another.
Do you want to
just-
talk about Die Hard some
I
more?
know. I didn't want to talk about it in the beginning.
I know. I know.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I thought that's what you were going
No,
to
that was
pick.
a good
I'm
guess,
trying to
though.
clarify.
I mean, you know me well. That is in the heart as well. But yeah, I think I've got to go with Jumanji. Like Robin Williams is just so fantastic in this movie as like the man cast out of time and like has been in the video or board game, this one, for forever. And it's a movie that's so good they've remade it now and added to it. And I just
Do you
miss
like the
Robin
remake?
Williams. I liked the first one a lot. I thought the next level was kind of meh.
How'd you
But
feel about it?
I'm also a sucker for The Rock and Kevin Hart too. I think
Yeah.
those guys as a comedic pairing are pretty fantastic.
How'd you feel about Zathura?
I liked that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
I
the
did too.
space one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that one. Is that Favreau as well?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh
I mean,
Hutcherson and all them.
yeah, he's good at that. Like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
very good at that. And I feel like Jumanji also kind of had like almost like sort of a Goonies sort of
Yes.
flair to
Yeah,
it.
I'd
Like
agree. Yeah.
it feels like one of those Amblin kind of movies
Mm-hmm.
from the 80s. And I liked that vibe quite a bit with Jumanji as well too. So just really loved it.
Did Favreau do Jumanji?
No.
Well, no, he was.
He did Zathura.
okay.
That's right. He did
All right, I
Zathura,
just-
and then
I
who
thought
did
that's why we were
Jumanji though?
connecting it.
I don't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember?
Steven Spielberg. I don't
No,
know.
it does feel
George
like it's
Lucas?
it feels like one of
feels
those
like it
like
could be.
produced by
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg.
Is it
kind
Joe
of things, but-
Johnston?
Is it him? Like from Rocket Man?
That
It feels
for some
like it
reason
could
that
be.
sticks out in my mind.
Jake Kasdan and Joe Johnston.
I only know one
Yeah.
Joe Johnston.
It's not Mike's brother.
Is that who it was?
Well, that's the
Joe Johnston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, from the
You
top
nailed it.
rope, baby.
You nailed that. Yeah. That's amazing.
I
Yeah.
struggle to say Steven Spielberg, and you got Joe Johnson on your Rolodex.
I mean,
All right,
yeah. Got his start in ILM.
yeah.
Worked on Star Wars.
Critics did not like the original Jumanji. That's
Did they
it.
not?
no.
52%.
Yeah.
Really?
Could have
Yeah.
saved it for Rotten
holy
Tomatoes.
crap.
I would never have guessed. Like, I loved that movie as a kid.
got a lot of
that
heart.
was- I think the first time I actually saw it was. Did anybody ever go to the public libraries on movie days in the summertime?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
awesome.
My grandma, like, that was a thing that like she loved to do was like pile the grandkids in the van, take us to the movies. And that's where I remember seeing this, and I just loved it. I was like, I was a kid still. I mean, sophomore in high school.
Did they have like somewhat of a big screen that you were watching on?
So
or
they
what?
had like a meeting room where it was probably the screen was maybe a little bit bigger than like the pull down screens that we
Yeah,
used to
I
have
got
here.
you.
You know, so not a huge screen, not great sound, nothing like that. But I mean, literally, it was like, hey, let's go to the LGI room and then like hang out,
Sure.
and you could like spread out a blanket on the floor and bring snacks, and we did that and just watched Jumanji. And
One
it
of
was
the
great.
worst double features I ever had. We watched Galaxy Quest, which was amazing, and then we watched That Darn Cat, which
That
was
darn cat.
Oh man,
Is that
so bad.
animated?
no.
Oh,
Christina Ricci, Dean Jones. It was pretty rough.
okay. I missed.
I
that.
remember seeing a trailer for that, but I never sat through it.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's your classic library. movie
People
right there.
love
Yeah.
this darn cat movie you're talking about.
Did it do better than Jumanji at 52%?
94%.
No
Holy
way.
crap.
Yeah, it's got to be the original.
Oh, was there a remake?
I think so.
Okay, maybe it's
Is
the
this
remake.
96?
65 was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
original.
that's the original.
Okay.
That Darn Cat was probably like 98, 99, something
Okay.
like that. Can't believe it didn't come up with the 99 draft. That's weird.
Next time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm up. I got 2 picks. For this sucks, man.
Yep.
This really sucks. For my blockbuster, with joy in my heart, I am taking Batman Forever.
Woo!
I thought about taking Pocahontas, but I'm going to leave that for Littell for the soundtrack.
Oh,
Okay.
Aw,
It is a
that's
really
nice.
good
that
soundtrack.
should be
I
a new
know.
category we have. Soundtrack.
You're
That-
taking this for Blockbuster?
Yeah, Blockbuster's such a.
I mean,
There's nothing.
I don't know
really
that there's
left.
much of a choice.
I would Die Hard.
Pocahontas
You know,
over
because
Batman
somebody
Forever.
took GoldenEye as an
Yeah. It's a
action
good
thriller
movie.
drama.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, that was very annoying.
Dude, I would take Casper over Batman Forever.
What?
Dude, this movie's so, like it's so bad it's good. but like
You're, are you,
God.
that's
This is
Batman and Robin is bad. Batman,
and Robin
Forever
is
is good.
oh, maybe I'm
Batman
yeah.
Forever's Jim
It's
Carrey's
the
the,
one with-
Riddler.
yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is Two Face.
Oh yeah,
Drew
okay.
Barrymore's
That is
in
a
it
good movie. Never mind.
as
Is
sugar
Schwarzenegger
or
in this
spice.
one?
no,
Is
no,
Schwarzenegger in this
that's-
one?
that's Batman and Robin.
Okay,
Batman and Robin.
My
That's-
bad. I got
that's Uma
those
Thurman.
conflated.
This is Val
Schwarzenegger.
Kilmer, Nicole Kidman.
And I thought Val Kilmer was an underrated Batman.
he was
too.
very good.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
You should have taken this for Misunderstood. You want to hear the Rotten Tomato scores on this?
I already have my Rotten Tomato, my Misunderstood. Let's hear it.
41 and 33.
That's ridiculous.
I saw this movie.
I thought it was a
in
fun movie.
Dublin, Ireland.
That's a cool little
Yeah,
salami trivia.
yeah.
Why?
So,
Why did you go to Dublin, Ireland, and then go see?
it was sold.
Batman
It was sold
Forever?
out here.
Right. He caught the
Just
first
like
flight.
Taylor Swift.
I'll catch the next flight.
Stupid.
summer of '95, Marie was doing an internship in Germany, and for a week we went to Great Britain, and then she was flying home. Her internship had ended in Germany, and I had planned to stay to go to Ireland. She didn't really care to go to Ireland, so I had planned to stay for an additional weekend. I took a ferry over to Dublin, and
What's the
turns
Irish
out
crowd like?
traveling by yourself, it ain't that much fun.
boring.
No,
yeah.
yeah.
And I thought it'd be okay because it's Ireland and they speak what I thought was English. So I thought it'd be cool. I
Well,
just
it
hang
is
out in
amazing.
pubs, drink, and I'm an easygoing guy. I'm sure I can pal around with some people. I was lonely. So one afternoon I went to go see Batman Forever. It was a good movie. It wasted a couple hours of my time. So,
That's so
yeah.
sad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack Batman Forever.
No, that's the best we could have.
That was amazing. That was really amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually glad you did that because it gave me time to think about what the hell I want to do.
Hey, I'm the human delay.
Well, here's a real quick. You like the Jim Carrey Riddler or the new Robert Pattinson, the Batman Riddler?
So different.
Ooh, yeah.
Two
Good God.
totally different
I know.
characters.
One is campy and one is dead serious.
Not
creepy,
campy at
very
all.
gritty.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, how do you like your Batman to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Campy or serious
Or
and
Nolan.
brooding?
I like
Post
I like
Nolan.
That's the
having
difference
both.
between like the '60s Batman from the TV series versus the
Adam
the-
West. Yeah.
or Christian Bale. Like,
Right.
let's compare him to Christian
Right.
Bale. They're not the
yeah.
same. But yeah, I mean,
Even what
it is very much that.
what Burton put out. I mean, the Batman movies were all pretty campy in the 80s and 90s. It's not until Christian Bale where you're like, what the hell happened to Batman?
Well,
Like, if you don't read the comics, when did Batman get serious?
that's why Tim Burton lost the franchise.
Because of the campiness?
No.
He was too dark.
Yeah, Batman was campy. Batman Returns with Danny DeVito as Penguin.
That's
and
a
Catwoman
dark movie, dude.
is
I love that
super
movie.
dark that Warner Brothers was like, thanks, but you're out. And they brought in Joel Schumacher purposely to make them kid and family friendly so they could sell action figures.
And then
Yeah.
they ruined Batman for 6 years before they let Christian Bale make
I
one.
like Batman Forever. I genuinely like.
Oh,
but
no, I'm
this
talking
is
about Batman
generation-
and Robin.
That was
Yeah.
pretty bad. But again,
Batman Forever, I think it's such a tonal shift from Batman Returns, though. Like, it is hard to like both of those movies at the same time.
Yeah.
Because they're just so different, you know? Like, and trying to think of them in the same universe just kind of breaks your brain a little bit.
Well, yeah, seeing like Michael Keaton come from the Penguin Batman and now in this role is like, what happened?
Yeah.
Who is this Batman?
And I liked Val Kilmer a lot as Batman. I didn't think he made a great Bruce Wayne, but
Yeah, would have to agree.
So, I referred to him as Burton because I couldn't think of his first name. That's the only Burton I could think of. And I knew it was wrong. I said Burton because I couldn't remember Tim
Well,
Burton's
it's
first
Tim,
name.
not Dave. Yeah.
No.
no, he wrote down Cliff Burton, the bassist from Metallica that died in 1986.
But I knew it wasn't him. But that's the only Burton that was in my head. I was like, I'm just gonna go with Burton. I was just happy I got Burton.
sorry, Dave.
But Cliff was
And
in my
Cliff,
head.
That's the only.
So thanks for throwing Tim's name in there. That helped me.
For my next pick, I'm going to take For Whom the Bell Tolls. No, this is tough. I got to be strategic here. All right. For my action thriller drama, I am going to take Get Shorty.
Good movie. I love Jake
Nice.
Shorty.
Could easily be a comedy,
Yeah, I have him on my comedy list.
but
I did too.
But
but
it's
it's
the
got a
same.
little. It's a little bit.
Sure,
little
sure.
bit of everything.
It could fit anywhere. Yeah.
It's crime. There's a little bit of thrill. There's some action, not really dramatic, but Elmore Leonard, the guy that Justified's based on, Jackie Brown is based on his short story,
Great
novel,
writer.
whatever. Great writer, and I think this is like one of the very first real feature adaptations of his work. Gene Hackman, Rene Russo,
Travolta,
Delroy Lindo,
Danny
is
DeVito. Too.
Danny DeVito.
amazing.
Yeah.
This is one that I skipped forever. I was like, no.
It's so good.
I finally watched it. I'm like, oh my God, this is so good.
It's also kind of funny.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
very
Oh,
fun.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
it on my
100%.
comedy.
I was saying I could take it as comedy, but my
I just
Action
erased
thriller
it from my
dramas.
comedy list.
Same here. I think it fits under action drama thriller. I just had
Yeah.
it under comedy because I thought it was it is funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I just I go with that in that venue. But
I
it is
actually-
a really good movie.
I
and
actually
low expectations.
Googled it to be sure. I was like, this is a comedy, but I feel like there's a action in it.
Sure.
And it said crime thriller and comedy. I was like, I'll take that.
Delroy's awesome in this film.
So good.
Yeah.
Because
I really enjoy it.
sometimes he's the bad guy, sometimes he's not. Like when he's the cop in Gone in 60 Seconds, you're like, wait a second, that's
Yeah.
kind of weird. Timothy Oliphant.
Yes, Timothy Olyphant's in that.
Did any of you
Love Timothy.
when I bought this or when I had this movie as a kid? It was like a double feature of this movie and Be Cool, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Be
Cool-
Cool
Be
is
Cool's like the
second-
sequel.
Right. Be Cool is the sequel to
Wow,
it.
I never even pieced that together. I'm so slow.
Have you seen the movies?
Yeah, but I think I saw Be Cool first, and then saw Get Shorty way later. I just never like.
wow.
Oh yeah, no. Be Cool is like Get Shorty too.
Okay,
When did it
that
come
makes
out?
sense.
05.
Is it 05?
Did you see Be Cool?
No.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah. That was okay.
I watched a little.
It's not
bit.
as good as Get Shorty.
Yeah.
And maybe
Like,
that's
it was
why
nice
I think
to
I
go back,
forgot
but
a lot
there's
of
such a gap too, because it was
Yes.
10 years.
10 years, right? 95 to 05. So there's a huge gap between them, and I don't know. It didn't have the same magic to it. I
The
thought.
critics were really rough on it, so I never
Be Cool.
decided to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Get Shorty recently. I don't know, within the last 5-6 months, and I'd forgotten how many different little plot twists and things that interweave, and it was enjoyable to watch again because in many ways I was like, I forgot. Basically, this movie,
Yeah.
all the
Not-
different things going on.
Not to lionize Tarantino as much as we always do, but I think Pulp Fiction made Get Shorty a better movie. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's one of those that benefited from this new wave of, we're going to make movies this way.
Yeah,
And it was really well done. It was one of the ones that didn't totally ape it, but took elements of it and it
Made it
the
its
movie.
own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
It'd be interesting to know if Travolta, just as an actor on the set, suggested anything just from his time from doing
Oh, I bet.
Tarantino, where he made a suggestion and the director's like, oh, yeah, that's an interesting idea. Why don't we try doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and then 2 years later, Tarantino does Jackie Brown. So Elmore Leonard
yeah.
was very much a
Yeah.
fixture in the late 90s. Arvin, back to you.
Woo!
I don't think we're going to get done on time.
Well, let's go a little quicker.
Okay.
All right.
A little quicker. Got it. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do my misunderstood because I have a
Oh.
good pick there. And I was shocked at the score that my pick here received. So my pick there is Tommy Boy.
Oh.
Oh!
Critics hated
Knew that was gonna make
Yes,
somebody
they
mad.
did.
They really, really did,
Damn
and I
it.
do not understand that at all. Yeah. So
That
Tommy
guy in
Boy,
a little coat, Richard.
bad guy in a little coat. Just great.
Is this the one where he's
40%.
behind the drapes?
The bees, get away!
Wait. Tommy goes down to the pool and he comes back
Yeah.
into the.
Who was it, Richard? Was it Spanky?
Yeah, that is. It really is a funny movie.
Oh, it's so good. I love like just Chris Farley playing with the ambulance in the guy's office and creating an entire. Oh God, you're gonna die! Ah, you're on fire! Like all of that, just like comic gold. And I feel like I was telling this yesterday. Like I feel like '95 really was a great year for comedies for
Yeah.
sophomore in high school. So,
Oh, yeah.
like it was like I could have picked this or Billy Madison and been very happy. And I just when I saw that score, I just couldn't believe it because the critic score is 40%.
That's
and then
wild.
the audience score is 90%.
yeah,
Like, it's
enjoyable.
50% difference between those two. And I couldn't agree with the audience score more. Like, I love this movie. I feel like it's also rewatchable. It's kind of tinged with sadness now because of Chris Farley, but so good.
If you're a critic, what the hell are you watching? That you're like it's just
what are you
like
comparing
supposed to
Have
be
some
fun.
fun.
Right, yeah.
right.
Like, it's a
just to
fun
be
movie. It's stupid. I'll give you it's stupid, but it's stupid fun.
Is this the one also where Chris Farley dances and is singing "She's a Maniac" as Rob Lowe is spraying
Yes.
him
Yep.
because he's all muddy? That's a that's a hilarious scene.
Did you eat paint chips as a kid? Why?
That's a
And
great
it's so
fun scene.
quotable. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
This is literally the worst I have felt since we started doing the podcast.
Good.
I'm
I-
very
feel that
sorry.
way.
I took Get Shorty because I hated all of the other dramas. But I was like, I bet Tommy Boy will make it. and not even close.
I feel like critics just had it out for that.
I had
whole
it as the
SNL
second
cast.
on my list of like ranked choices. I was like, I bet it's gonna go high, like because I really like it. How do you feel about it?
Tommy
screwed
Boy?
that up.
It's amazing.
Right?
I love Tommy
and
Boy.
I was pretty sure Cash. I didn't know about you, but
I-
I was like, I'm pretty sure like it's gonna be high in most of our lists. So I put it pretty high on mine.
I should have just taken it. Oh well, that's how
And-
the draft goes.
I'm sorry.
I remember watching it
Not
and
that
then
sorry,
finding
but
out
sorry.
later on that that was Bo Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not. It did not like Bo Derek in my mind is still from 1980.
So hot.
81.
God, she's
Well, that's
so hot.
that's the joke. He's
Yeah.
like, Dad, she's a 10. She's from the
Yeah,
movie 10.
I got it after. Trust,
It makes
and I'm
sense if
very
you know
familiar with
movies.
the movie 10.
Yeah.
as a 12-year-old.
Yeah, you were.
yeah, yeah.
Spanky.
But no, I really feel
Bo
like
Derek.
critics had it out for like that whole like Rock, Sandler, Farley,
Oh,
Spade
yeah.
cast from
Yeah.
SNL.
So
like,
I have a theory that's why Roger Ebert was as popular as he was, because his rating system was I'm gonna rate this movie based on what it is. I'm not gonna critique Tommy Boy the way I would critique Schindler's List.
and as you should. Like
There's a reason why Tommy Boy's gonna get 3.5 stars versus
Sure.
like, yeah, no, it's
right, it's not cinema.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like
were you entertained? Was it, all right, so let me.
All right, I'm gonna go comedy. No, you know what? I'm gonna do Oscar because I really want to make sure I get this movie.
oh no.
Oh.
For Oscar, I'm gonna go with 12 Monkeys.
Oh, dude, please, why? It's my turn next.
To be honest with you, you can even say it's comedy. I'm so happy that that at the last second I pivoted.
Wow.
And I pivoted because I got two comedies that I can live with one way or the other. But I really wanted to make sure. 12 Monkeys, my God, Brad
It's
Pitt
such a
is-
good movie.
He is so good, and he's
And Bruce
funny.
Willis, too.
Yes, yeah.
Dang, dude, I'm so mad.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to watch 12 Monkeys.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a time travel movie.
I know, and I haven't seen it, which I don't really know why. I think like the grungy aesthetic of it like turned me off at the time, but
I'm
I don't know.
again.
Also,
I
let
went
you
to
talk about
I
it.
went to the theaters to see it, and I would say 20, 30 minutes in, I was thoroughly confused as to what was unfolding in front of me.
yeah, it takes a while.
Like, I didn't-
It opens up as the movie
Oh my,
goes.
yeah. I disliked it and wondered, will I stay? Am I going to sit through this? And how long will I before I just decide, okay, this is done?
The twists in that movie.
I had
Well,
friends
yeah,
that did
one-
not, and they were like, "It's stupid." Like,
No.
okay,
Well,
cool.
He hops back and forth quite a bit at the very
Yeah.
beginning, and you're kind of like, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then once he stays put for a little bit of time, and they start unfolding it with Brad Pitt, and I think your first introduction is in the asylum.
Yeah.
Then it starts to find its pace.
The whole point, he's trying to go back and stop a plague from happening, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you find out, like the ending, the last 5 minutes of it or so, you're like,
Crazy.
holy crap. Like it.
I won't
Yeah.
say anything because it
No.
sounds like you're
Oh,
going to watch it.
I'm gonna
so-
watch it. I actually own it on Blu-ray. I bought it like at a Black Friday sale for like $5, probably like 8 years ago, and I still haven't even opened it.
I don't know
Brad
how you
Pitt
feel.
is so good, and
He
he's
is so
so
good.
funny.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
his character isn't necessarily trying to be funny, but it's funny.
I think
Yeah.
that like the last twist of this movie is unironically one of the best twists ever. And
Yeah.
it's like it's so good.
Yeah, what we can't talk about
I
it because it
know.
really would ruin.
I can
no,
walk
no,
out
no,
if
no,
you
no.
want.
But it
No, we
is-
need to keep going anyway.
Right,
Okay.
it is so good, so good.
Littell, you got 2 picks.
Well, okay.
I'm so happy that I did that.
Like now we're in the danger zone though,
Yeah,
because now
man.
that Salami's taking that, like Littell's just a loose cannon over here.
Okay, I'm going to take my comedy and Oscar. I'll start with comedy and I'm going to take Friday because
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, I mean, just a day in the life in black suburbia, and it is
That we
so,
can all relate
so
to.
funny. Yeah, like the relationship between Ice Cube and John Witherspoon in that movie, hilarious. Is it Chris Tucker? Is that who
Yeah,
plays?
yeah.
Smokey.
Smokey. God, dude, I just everyone does such a good job in this movie.
Which
Like,
one do you like better, Friday or next Friday? Because I think next Friday's funnier. I've always enjoyed next Friday more than Friday.
I think next Friday is funnier. I just think Friday it's so original.
Yeah,
It's a
and, like,
classic, I think now.
it started off that whole series.
Yeah.
And man,
Yeah.
Nia Long,
It was
Debo. Who plays Debo in that movie? God, I love that.
and it does
What is
change.
his name? Tiny Lister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, he's so funny.
Tiny Lister.
It is cutting new ground. The idea that you're going to do a comedy set in inner city black neighborhood where you're just hanging out for the day.
Yeah.
and
That's it.
Some of the funny part, like
You don't have
they
a
do
job.
steal a little bit from Cheech and Chong, but Cheech and Chong is boring after a while.
Yeah.
they're just sitting there getting high and saying stupid stuff to one another, like Beavis and Butthead. This, like, obviously you're sitting around watching them get high from time
But there
to time.
are plot
they're-
points, yeah.
right? And their conversations aren't just just really really high. They actually
Talk about ladies, talk
right?
about
They're being
Parents.
funny.
Yeah.
All right, Oscar pick.
Oscar pick. I'm torn. There's like 2 picks here that I don't know. Oh.
Just get Babe. You'll never regret it.
La la la. I'm gonna pick because I think it has the most impact now. Dead Man Walking,
Ooh, that'll do.
Not
Babe.
Pocahontas.
not
Wow.
Pocahontas. I was torn between Dead Man Walking or Leaving Las Vegas, but
Yeah, I had that one
Man.
down too.
Dead Man Walking is so brutal. Like it is emotionally hard to get through because
Yes, it
like
is.
the whole aspect of should we have a death sentence in the first place, and then you watch this man's story unfold. Was that Sean Penn? Is he
Yes,
that? Yeah.
yes.
God, he does such a good job. And I heard he's also one of those that's really hard to work with, but boy, he kills. Have you guys all seen this movie?
Yes.
Yep.
I would say I've seen the movie, I've seen it as a speech piece, and every time it just like
Yeah.
guts me by the end.
This
Like
is one
the
of those
ending
that
is
was on.
It's effective.
It was on cable. It was one of those that was airing all the time.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you're at home during the summer on break. Shawshank Redemption,
yeah.
The Cable Guy, and Dead Man Walking are ones that I remember being on all the time.
I feel like regardless of how you feel, if you are really set on having a death sentence like as a punishment, like corporal punishment in America, you should watch this movie at
Yeah.
least once. And I mean, if you still agree, you agree, but like I think it would shake almost anybody.
It gives you perspective
For sure.
Susan Sarandon is amazing. in
Oh,
this.
she's fantastic.
Incredible.
Did she win the Oscar for this?
I don't believe so.
No.
Really.
Oh,
Dang.
that's-
I can't
lost
believe
to.
she didn't.
That scene she does where she visits the daughter's parents
Dude.
to talk with them.
Dude.
Yeah, that was very
It's gut-wrenching.
realistic
Yeah.
as far as what you might expect from a father.
The writing
Oh.
is so
Yeah.
real. Like it's just these
But-
are real people.
Yeah.
If anything, when that movie ended, like I wasn't kind of more in favor of the death penalty. Hey man,
Okay.
you got to pay your price. I don't know what to say.
She did win.
She did?
She did win?
Ah,
Okay.
yay, good. Good, because she's awesome in this.
This was a
My
deep
goodness.
year. You had Emma Thompson, Meryl Streep, Sharon Stone, Elizabeth Shue from Leaving Las Vegas, and Susan
man.
Sarandon won. That's a
What was Sharon
That's a
Stone
great
in?
year.
Casino.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Casino.
That other scene too, when his family comes to visits the day of his execution, that was pretty intense too. It's a really good film.
It
It's
is really good.
And crazy enough, it really is. And I don't remember the 2 boys who did the speech piece, but damn, did they do a good job. Actually, it wasn't 2 boys. It was a boy and girl. Yeah. I don't remember who did
it
it, but
was-
they were so good back in the early 2000s doing that piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lemmy, you're up.
All right, I'm going to take my other comedy. I had 2 on my list, and this is why I decided to pivot, thankfully, to Oscar and take 12 Monkeys. I'm going to take the other comedy. I had 4. I thought all 4 were great, and I'm going with Clueless.
Dang.
Donald
honestly-
Faison.
I think 1995.
Donald Faison.
I think the comedies in
Take that, Paul Rudd.
1995 might be better than the comedies of the 80s.
Oh, it's
I'd have
a
to agree.
great
Like
year.
all
So
those
good.
comedies of the 80s that people talk, and you and I have talked about this before. Like there's moments in Stripes or Ghostbusters that are funny, but they're not
Maybe than
funny
Airplane.
movies.
Like Airplane's the only one that's like truly funny, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Animal House I know is in 80. I think that's 70s, but even that's like there's moments that are funny, but it's not a funny movie. There's a lot of funny movies
Oh, yeah.
in 95. And Clueless, which I had, again, maybe it's just I need to go to more movies with low expectations. Because
It's a great way to live.
Movie Trailer Friday has ruined you.
it really has. I had very low expectations for Alicia Silverstone in this film and what it was going to be. And God, is it funny. And they keep bringing certain jokes back through the movie, like Seinfeld-esque.
Stacey Dash was so hot in this movie.
I did not know that's how you're going to finish that sentence.
And Brittany Murphy, both of them. God.
That is just pure film criticism right there.
Who is
10 out of 10.
Who's Alicia's dad? What's the actor's name? Because he does a great job.
So Dan
Dan,
Hedaya,
yeah.
which I watched
so
Blood
fun.
Simple last night, and he's the
Is
guy.
he? Oh.
He's the guy who tries to get them killed.
Wallace Shawn is
He's-
in this movie too, isn't he?
Who?
Wallace Shawn.
He's the teacher.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
And Twink Kaplan,
And-
Miss Geist.
Rudd is in the movie. That's
Yes.
Yeah, stepbrother.
But
yeah,
the dad
he's,
would-
he's the incest part of the movie.
when she comes down dressed to go out, and he's like, "Go put clothes on. you're not going out like that." Yeah, no, very funny film.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Arvin-
Another one that really stood the test of time too, I think.
Yeah,
Still funny.
Another one.
Right,
you
it
can
doesn't
really-
change.
Yeah. And still prescient, I think. Okay, so I've got action, thriller, drama, comedy, or wild card left. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with my comedy here too, just to make sure I get another one from the top of my list. So let me just stole a pretty good one from up there.
Feeling good about
but
myself.
My top one for comedy, since I already got Tommy Boy, is Billy Madison.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that. I loved that movie as a sophomore in high school, like to the point where I probably watched it 30, 40 times on VHS.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think-
I mean, like,
I liked it more than Happy Gilmore as a kid.
oh yeah, like I mean, I really liked Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that that's clear. But
He will let you know.
If
loved
you're
Billy
listening,
Madison.
Adam
Oh my
Sandler, he
God.
liked both of them.
Absolutely, Adam. They're both fantastic. But if I had a pick, I would go with Billy Madison. I also love, and I've just blanked on his name, guy from West Wing. He's
Oh,
in
the-
Cabin in the Woods.
God.
Bradley Whitford.
Bradley
Yeah.
Whitford. He is so funny as the
Hilarious.
villain in this. And then their like academic decathlon at the end is priceless.
Every line from that decathlon.
Oh
is
my
amazing.
God.
Jim
and then
Downey's
the principal's
speech.
line.
Yeah.
Yes. Ah, like that is amazing.
We are all,
Everyone
we're all
in this
now
room.
We are
dumber.
all now dumber for having witnessed that. I award you no points.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
Just fantastic, right? And like 3 of us knew that line right there. Like
crazy.
That's amazing. I love this movie. I gotta take it as the comic.
One line from that movie I say at least once a week. That's assault, brother.
Yep.
Just because it's fun to say and it makes me laugh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's cool to pee your pants.
Peeing your pants is the
It's
coolest.
the coolest.
If peeing your pants is cool,
Hey,
I'm
look.
Miles Davis. That is the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Ah! Just fun. Stupid fun. But yeah.
So the whole like weird tutoring sequence where like Chris Farley.
Oh yeah. That is
That
correct.
is correct. 1466.
Spanish Armada, 1482. 1591.
And you got
God, give me the answer.
Norm MacDonald and Artie Lang as the 2 losers. What is he talking about?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson now or 1974? 74. Meg Ryan.
Just a great time. And it's another one where, like, this was also on my misunderstood list because it's 40% critics and 79% audience. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand you critics.
You need to watch
Yeah.
this movie, man.
Yeah, you would love it.
I've never sat through the whole thing. I've seen it. I've seen 1995. No offense to all of you. I was a little older.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah.
Donkey Kong sucks.
You suck.
I like Happy Gilmore
Sure.
way more than this.
I think it depends
Oh,
on where
I
you
don't
were
know,
in
man.
the age,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Like, if you were older when it came out, you're going to like Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore more.
Have you seen the scene where he shakes the kid?
I don't think so.
Billy, I can't wait
Stay
till I
here
get to
as
high
long
school.
as you can.
Don't you ever say that. And he's shaking him. Pete, stay here as long as you can. And killer soundtrack. He's got Kansas,
Oh, yeah.
Skinnerd.
So good. I mean, it's
I've
it's
seen
across the board.
scenes. I've never sat through the whole
Oh man, it's
like
like
the quote, that
that's-
quote that you guys all
like
like. I've seen that.
Yeah.
But some of the other stuff, I was just laughing at you guys because of how much fun you enjoy it.
Yeah,
Not
oh,
at
it's
you,
so fun.
like laughing with you because of obviously all 3 of you love that film.
We do.
All right, I'm up. I got 2 picks. And I've got comedy, misunderstood, and wild card. For For comedy, I'm going a Goofy movie.
Yes, I'm so happy it got picked because I was gonna pick it. That movie's so good.
Love,
Are you really
love, love
happy
that
then?
movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone needed to. That movie's good.
Genuinely, not just one of the greatest Disney songs of all time. One of my all-time
There's a
favorite
couple.
songs ever is "Eye to Eye"
Eye
by
to Eye.
Powerline in that movie.
What's the other one? At the beginning of the movie, Stand Out.
Yeah,
Great.
Stand Out.
The whole scene with Max doing the stage production.
I was picturing
so good.
the song as he's going to school.
I'm
gonna sit on my butt. Yeah.
No more gym. No more gym.
Now I'm in your camp.
You guys haven't seen this movie?
I was probably
older.
too old to
They're
be like,
older.
ooh, I'm gonna go see the
So
Goofy
good.
movie, and so
It's
I've still never
genuinely-
seen it. I put it on my list.
It's super funny, but also like incredibly heart touching. Like it's a heartfelt movie.
There's quite a few Goofy. Like there's a Goofy Christmas movie that is similar. Like I've seen parts of this, but my kids were born 2002, 2003, and Pixar happened.
Yeah.
So then
They
certain
don't like
elements-
watching older animation, I've noticed.
No, yeah, I mean it's not.
It's stupid. That's a
There's
dumb
a,
thing.
there's
Like,
a generation where it's kind
It
of
is.
ruined
Like,
for them. Like they're like, oh, it's old.
I get the
It's not
fidelity
that
is
they-
lower, but like there's so much heart in these movies.
No, I don't disagree. And there are some classics that they've seen, but there's a whole list of Disney movies that are just regular animation that they've never watched for whatever reason.
I'm just if you like father son movies, like one of the best.
Right.
Yeah, it's good.
The Goofy Christmas special, it's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a really well done half-hour father-son connection, etc. It's actually a Goofy short. It's
All
not
right.
a movie.
Next pick, I've got Wild Card and Misunderstood. I'm just going to save Misunderstood for I don't care. I didn't get Tommy Boy or Goldeneye. I'm so pissed.
Sorry.
Wild Card, I'm going to take Angus.
Oh, I love that
yeah.
soundtrack. That soundtrack's fantastic.
Such a great soundtrack, such a quotable movie. James Van Der Beek in the villain role of the 90s.
And Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates is the mom.
Yeah.
George C. Scott's the grandpa.
Yeah.
Good cast, yeah.
Ariana Richards from Jurassic Park. She's the love foil.
Yeah.
Melissa Lefevre.
Good little coming of age
Kieran
movie.
McCulkin, right? Or am I thinking
Is
wrong?
it?
No.
No.
He's not in this at all? My fault. Thinking of a different movie.
The Shermanator from American Pie.
yeah.
Chris Owen.
Shermanator.
He's the scrawny little friend.
Yeah,
My
he's
bad.
Troy.
And Charlie Talbert is the big Angus. He's Angus.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely love this movie.
I do too.
For
It's a
some
really
reason,
good movie.
we rented it, I think. And I think that might be why theaters took a hit in the 90s, just a little,
renting
because Blockbuster was so huge that it was probably cheaper for a family to do that than
Family
to go
Video
to the
and all
theater.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I would think. But I was actually going to take this as my Misunderstood because I feel like it's so not well known, but it's got a 67%. I was pleased to find that
Yeah,
out.
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's
Pete.
higher than I thought. I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
rotten. But
Interesting.
if I
It'd
can't,
be hard to watch that movie and not feel good to some degree when the
Right,
movie's
it's
over.
a coming of age movie. Like,
Right.
feels good. Heartwarming.
Yeah.
talk
funny.
about we talked about like Nurse Ratchet and you hate Marcia Gay Harden.
Yeah. Oh.
James Van Der Beek as the jock bully in this is
hateable.
dude so like it when he pushes him,
Especially
and
as
he's
a
like,
kid,
I'm
like,
never
I
gonna be
hate
like you. Oh my god.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arvin, back to
Good
you.
choice.
Action, thriller, drama, and wild card left.
All right. Let's see here. So I think I'm going to do action, thriller, drama. This one was not high up on my list, and nobody took it, so it's there. And yet, it was right on the cusp of being a blockbuster. So I'm going to take Crimson Tide.
There it is.
Yes.
I'm surprised it
love-
lasted this long.
I was like, okay, well, maybe you guys don't like it as much as I do. So great. This is great for me. It is. It's Denzel Washington
Yeah.
and Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Which I think is all you need to say. They're stuck on a submarine. One of them's the captain. One of them's the commander, and there's a little mutiny. And
Kane
here you
mutiny
go.
on the submarine.
Yeah, on a nuclear missile submarine.
Yeah.
And it's like the tension is high. I'm a sucker for The Hunt for Red October. Is one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies.
I was just about to mention it, so.
Crimson Tide was like right up there. This was one of those where I was like, this is probably not a movie for me at 15. And yet I was very excited to go watch this too, just like Apollo 13. So yeah, Crimson Tide. Just love that movie. Like it does.
It's got like a 12 Angry Men kind of setting. Right? It's
It
really
does, right? And
small,
you
like-
have kind of like people picking sides with like these two like gravitational forces on the submarine, like
Yeah.
people that back up Hackman, people that back up Denzel, and it's like, oh, like it just builds the tension through the entire thing. until like the ending of the movie is fantastic. I think like it's just really, really well done the entire time. And so I think this might be one of the first movies that's like a true thriller that I enjoyed in my like coming of age story, you know, that kind of thing. So I love this movie.
Salemi, Misunderstood and Wildcard.
Okay, I'm going to take Misunderstood, and there are literally 4 movies that I could have used for different areas other than Oscar or Blockbuster, I guess, because none of them really hit big.
That's 2 of the 6. All right.
But like 4 movies that I think are really, really good: Just Cause, Empire Records, Forget Paris, Things to Do in Denver When You Are Dead, and they all got horrible scores on Rotten Tomatoes. So I think I'm going to go with Just Cause, which got 26%. Sean Connery, Lawrence Fishburne, Ed Harris, and the idea that it's not just those 3 people involved in a movie.
Yeah.
And
Another
there is a
death penalty movie.
Oh yeah, and Ed Harris deserves to die.
You hear that, Ed Harris?
Yeah, we're coming for you.
Because that's how well you did the character. I thought you were a really bad dude. So
Don't walk it back.
if you do ever listen to this, please come on board. There is a scene when Sean Connery and Ed Harris are in the interrogation room or in the prison visiting room, and Ed Harris just loses his mind because I don't want to give anything away. Ed Harris has set Sean Connery up to find. Have you guys seen this movie?
I haven't.
I didn't
so
like
don't
it that
ruin
much, but I
Okay,
have seen
don't
it.
ruin it.
So
for me.
Ed Harris set Sean Connery up for something, and he wants Sean Connery to. He's waiting for the moment for Sean Connery to deliver the news that Ed Harris already knows, and he won't do it. And instead, he says something else to him, and he just loses his mind. It is like Ed Harris is in this movie minimally, but every scene he steals, and it's so good. The film itself.
Littell, 2 picks. Misunderstood and Wildcard.
Please don't ruin my day.
Okay. For Misunderstood, I'm just going to go ahead and take Mortal Kombat. Because, man, it's such a fun, stupid movie. And I don't get why people hate on it. Because it's so dumb and it's supposed to be. Like, the lore is crazy. It makes no sense. Like, it has minimal development.
Are we getting
plot-wise,
another paper
but
rip?
the fights are so funny and good. Like, I just thought it was a really fun movie. Plus, like, the games were so big, and like obviously those came out more during like your high school, college time than
I
me.
think that's probably why Arvin wanted it.
But you know, like playing them, like I mean, I did play them a lot as a kid. My mom, of all people, was super into Mortal Kombat and like bought us all
really?
all the games growing up, and like I loved it. I saw I've seen every Mortal Kombat movie. It's like they're all stupid. I really don't like the new Scorpion Sub-Zero movie, but because I thought it was like too serious. I don't know. Like, just stop. Don't be so serious. It needs to be stupid.
Not everything
Campy.
needs to be the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I love the camp is the best part about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Wildcard.
Wild Card. I'd be shook if any of you have seen this movie, but I'm gonna pick it just because I personally love it and I'm a sap for a good romance. That is The Bridges of Madison County. I love this movie. Meryl
2
Streep.
heavyweights.
Yeah. Have you guys seen it?
No.
No, I'm not. I know it.
I don't like
got
Meryl
nothing
Streep.
but.
I don't like Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
I think Clint Eastwood as a director is horrible. So
Yeah, same.
can't make a movie.
I'm impressed you know. That's great.
Only because some of the best movies I've seen him in, they're also. Oh, by the way, he directed it. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh, he managed not to ruin Unforgiven. Great. Oh,
I watched that over the weekend.
Yeah.
Unforgiven, yeah.
I love Unforgiven.
it's a
But
good movie.
Bridges of
Meryl
Madison
Streep,
County.
doesn't
Yeah.
she get the Oscar? Or
She got a
wasn't
nod,
that-
I think.
Right, this is her Oscar nomination, right?
Yep.
Like it got really, really good reviews. I just never got around to watching it.
It's very good. Unrequited, well, not unrequited. They have like a really intense, brief romance, like her and this other dude, while her husband is out of town. And like the whole point is like the movie starts with she's dead, and they're figuring out what they're gonna do with her body. And
Meryl
she chooses,
Streep's dead?
Yes, and she
Okay.
chooses to have her ashes spread by this covered bridge instead of being buried next to her husband. And it's like why? And then you learn the whole story. Excellent.
All right.
Great.
Maybe I'll watch.
Great soundtrack too. Phenomenal.
Good. Salemi. Wildcard. Come on, Brady Bunch movie.
Not going to
Look what
happen.
you did to my list.
I'm going to go with an odd film.
That's what makes it a wild card.
Yeah, I'm going to go with To Die For.
Oh, wow. Nicole Kidman.
Nice.
Joaquin
Wow.
Phoenix plays such a creepy teenage kid. And
I'm
his
so
buddy is
good at
Casey
creepy.
Affleck, who's
He's
also
so good
kind
at
of
creepy.
weird.
I'm shocked you're taking this.
The movie is good. Matt Dillon, I feel bad for throughout the film. I'm like, you do know your wife is like psychotic, right? And obviously
Sometimes they're
cheating
hot
on you.
Sometimes they're hot enough, man. You'll put up with
You
it.
just gotta
Yeah,
take the wins with the losses there.
to die. And I do. I mean,
The wins with the losses there. There's some good advice.
and the girl, the actress who plays Matt Dillon's wife, who hates Nicole Kidman. She's in a variety of films. She was in Cape Fear as well. She's the lawyer who got abused by De Niro in that film. Anyway,
Your recall and lack of name recognition is just amazing. You remember every scene of every movie.
yeah, but I
Except
can't
who's
remember
in
their names. But you're memorable.
Ileana Douglas.
Yeah, but I don't like.
That was Scorsese's girl for a while.
Oh, really?
Live-in girlfriend.
I'm telling.
Okay.
After Rossellini.
But yeah,
Anyway.
To Die For. How many of you have seen it?
No, I have not.
And it's based on a true story, which
Oh, is
is
it?
yes, that makes it even.
This is the one where she like rigs the lottery or something?
No,
That's
this is
the
when
other
she
one.
hires
Oh,
two
okay.
teenage boys to kill her husband because
Okay.
she thinks
Whoa.
her husband, is standing in the way of her reaching stardom as a news person.
Yeah.
And by news person,
That sounds
weather
funny.
girl.
Yeah.
Like, it's based on a true story. She is completely delusional, and she like went in for career day or something like that in the high school, and Joaquin Phoenix is fixated on her. It's worth watching. It is so.
Put that on my
You can
list.
almost put it down for comedy because there are elements of it that are comedic, even though they're not really trying to be comedic. And bonus, Casey Affleck is in it. I like Casey
like
Affleck,
Casey Affleck.
and he's just he's like his buddy, and they're both goofy as hell, just goofy high school kids.
Arvin, wild card.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Boom.
I love
There
it.
we go.
Second best Die Hard movie.
True.
Samuel L. Jackson's fantastic in it.
Two heavyweights back to back
Yeah.
really late in this draft. Crimson Tide and Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I feel pretty good about it.
Big actors.
Especially
Yeah.
since Littell stole the movie that I went and saw 5 times in a theater. First time
Mortal
I've
Kombat?
ever done that with Mortal Kombat. So
You
It's
wait,
a
wait a
fun
minute.
movie.
You paid 5 times to watch that?
5 times. Yes.
Oh my!
Yes. I played the original Mortal Kombat in an arcade, Littell. In an arcade.
I have played it in an arcade.
Well, that's neat for you.
I've played Mortal Kombat, but wow, paid
Yeah.
5 times.
5 times.
I really enjoyed it. I loved the soundtrack. I loved all that
Oh, the
stuff.
soundtrack
So
is really good in that movie.
It's like I loved it a lot, and it's just one of those places where it just has a spot in my heart there.
So this will give you an idea of where we were, the different time frames of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
If I had tried to get Marie to go to Mortal Kombat 5 times.
Oh, I wasn't
Are you
worried
saying
about
no
I
taking
don't.
a girl.
There's no way we break up. Like there is no Luciano Crescencio and Isabella right now. I'm fairly confident it would have changed her view
sure,
of me
sure,
if
sure.
I would have said, "Let's go see Mortal Kombat once," let alone
it was
5
this
times.
and
2
then
times, not 3
Blade.
times.
Like I watched that a bunch of times in the
What was
theater.
it? I'm
like,
sorry.
Mortal Kombat and Blade are the first 2 where I saw them
she
in
liked
theaters
Blade.
like multiple times.
Blade we saw.
But again, 15 years old,
right,
was not worried about taking a girl.
Yeah, no,
I think
no,
I
no.
did.
I get it.
I think I did take my first girlfriend to Mortal Kombat, and we did break up pretty shortly after that. So, but I feel like that was a
tracks.
good thing. So it was fine.
Right.
It worked out. And anyways, Die Hard's great.
You wouldn't have had Isabella. I haven't heard you
Isabella.
say Isabella.
I said that.
No, I know. I'm so used to
I was doing the
Isabella.
full Christian names for everybody.
You'd have what, Jenny Jr.?
Yeah,
Whoa.
hopefully, I guess that would be the backup
JJ?
plan.
And that's how I
But-
married a woman named Karen.
All right. Misunderstood is my last one. A couple of movies I'm surprised never got drafted. Bad Boys didn't get drafted.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Braveheart, I think, is the first Best Picture that didn't get drafted.
I don't like that movie a lot.
Do you?
I
saw Rob
liked.
Roy?
I would have picked it before I went
Oh.
to Scotland, and then I realized how much
Right,
the
that's-
Scottish people hate it, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and looked into it just a little bit, and was like, oh,
Yeah.
so I like it way less now. But
I've
if this
not-
draft had been 6 months ago,
Rob Roy,
Rob Roy.
Liam Neeson, Gina
Yeah,
Davis.
I like that more than I like Braveheart.
Yeah.
and it's
Rob Roy's good.
similar-esque.
Yeah.
and that
Not
was one that
exactly.
got like, it was a huge box office bomb. Critics hated
Rob.
it. Rob Roy.
Yeah. I thought it was fun. It's got though. It's an actor that you and I really like, and he plays a bad guy, a very effeminate swordsman. He played
Christopher Lee.
No, but thank you for playing. Oh God.
What else is he in? This is fun.
Benito Mussolini.
He was in the bellhop movie where it's like 4 rooms in a bellhop with
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth.
Oh, he's a good man.
Isn't that the movie he's in?
He is a good
You
villain.
like Tim Roth, don't you?
I love Tim
Am I
Roth.
wrong? Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't have that name ready to go.
I am too. But I've kind of lost it, to be honest with you. So I don't know what to say. When I can't remember Tim Roth's name, I really am down a bad path. So what are you going with? I'm sorry.
And Copycat didn't get drafted. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Cat on my list.
That's a good one.
Pocahontas undrafted still.
Yeah.
Not for long.
Well, I can't take it as misunderstood.
Leaving Las Vegas is still on the table.
Take
I kind of can't
Copycat.
believe The American President didn't get taken. I love that movie too.
I could take Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I thought about it. That was going to be my misunderstood, but
I'm just going to do it. Misunderstood. Totally rotten score. Super dumb. Don't care.
It's awesome.
Ace Ventura When Nature Calls.
Yes, the rhino birthing scene.
Like a glove.
that is one of the grossest things still that I've ever seen in a movie.
The rhino.
Oh,
Yeah.
that offended my
So
parents so,
gross.
much.
Oh, yeah, as a
there were
Catholic
times where I was
growing
like, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this VHS in there.
My brother Mark can recite word for word both Ace Ventura movies.
Wow.
Like from beginning to end, he
Man.
can literally say it, cite it from memory.
Wow.
Watched it so many times growing up.
What a horrible gift to be blessed with.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
21% critic reviews and then 72% on the audience.
Which
score,
I think
too.
that's low
a
for
huge,
audience.
huge swing.
It is.
What was it? I'm sorry.
21% was
Right.
the critic score, and then 72% positive was the audience score.
Yeah,
51
I
points.
just again, if you're a critic, I'm really not sure when you're watching that film,
Yeah.
what you're basing it on.
It actually has
like
a
there's got to be
slightly
some
higher
sort
swing
of
than
slide
Tommy Boy
scaling,
Yeah.
and something like that. I think.
I think
Yeah.
this draft not
Should
only
be.
has the best group of soundtracks we all ever had, I
Oh
think
my
it's
gosh.
also the best movie poster. Like our dorm rooms would look
Oh, these were some
dope.
great,
Amazing.
great posters. Yeah.
I'm surprised that no one picked not just Braveheart, no one picked Casino either.
Yeah.
I
I'm
thought
very
for sure
surprised.
you were going to.
He doesn't like Casino.
No, I do. I
No,
just
you don't.
I do like Casino. I just don't think it's that good.
Really? Show it to me on your list then.
Yeah, I have it here just in case, but it's
Oh, nice.
below
Oh,
Rob
yeah.
Roy.
You do?
I genuinely don't care for Casino, honestly.
Oh, I love that movie.
I think it's good. I just think
It's fine.
Nothing right. It's like a good half hour longer than it
Oh,
needs to.
that I
that's
will agree.
100%.
It is
Like,
too long.
100% true.
My
Like,
God, take the bats early. Take them out to the
Let's-
cornfield and let's beat them and put them in the ground and let's wrap this up.
Yeah, whoever edited that movie.
Yeah, you wasted Don Wrinkles. He doesn't really do much in the.
Rickles.
Rickles.
Don Wrinkles.
Don.
You're
Rickles. In
telling
my
me.
head.
Hold on. You're
That's
telling
his
me a
roast
Scorsese movie was 30 minutes too long? I'm shocked.
No.
Hey, no.
He doesn't do that
down.
all the time.
His movies make me comatose.
Did
They are
anyone
long.
have Dolores Claiborne on their list for anything?
Nope.
Nah.
I did not.
So I'm the only one who liked it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just prefer
I've
Misery.
not seen it.
Misery's good.
Misery's
You've never
amazing.
seen it?
I've
That's
not
a
seen
good
it, no.
movie.
I can't say if
I
you
missed
like
a-
it or not. To be honest with you.
I missed a lot of movies because, I mean, this is kind of right at that time frame where it's like.
When you're watching Mortal
If
Kombat.
I saw it, I went and saw it 5 times. But if, exactly.
You only have so much money
It's
to
Dolores
spend.
Claiborne or The Bridges of Madison County, pass. So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Dude, that movie is so good. You guys would like that movie.
The Bridges of Madison
it's
County.
so well done.
I feel like we're on NPR now.
All right. So just before we wrap this up, let's do this from now. So your one recommendation for all of us who haven't seen the movie would be Bridges of Madison County.
Yeah, because I think
Okay.
a lot of people haven't seen it.
Man.
It's really good.
Or
Do you
Dead
have
Man
a
Walking.
Do you have a
Dead Man
recommendation?
Out of my
Walking is
list.
also very good.
No, it doesn't have to be something that you pick, but a movie that even if you didn't pick it, like I would recommend seeing this if you never saw it.
Ooh, man. I think I'd go with The American President. I just love, like, the writing in that is just so good.
Okay.
So, Sorkin. So,
Yeah,
that's who I would
Sorkin's
go with
really
there.
right.
I couldn't quite find a place on my list to put it, but I would say, like, I just really like that movie, and it also, it's election day while we're recording this, so it feels like even extra
There you go.
prescient to, like, oh, that was a scandal? Oh, cute.
Yours?
Things to do in Denver when you're dead.
That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Andy Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy I wrote it down. Jimmy the Saint is his name in the
Jimmy the
film.
Wrench.
The wrench.
And you?
Angus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Get
good one.
Shorty too, but Angus is very under the radar. Love that.
Yeah, I
movie.
don't think a lot of people have seen that film.
Yeah.
And it is good.
All right, boys. Good job.
Thanks.
Let's go to a meeting.
Ticket studs out.
Love you.